Alright, so guys, welcome to the Amaz mug reveal. Okay, of course we have Chen Stormstout being the champion, and the hero power is actually quite intriguing. Okay, it is a mixture of 3 hero powers. So you have all these 3. You have Stagger, which is basically the warrior hero power for 1 mana. You have Soothing Mist, which is basically the priest hero power for 1 mana. And you have Tiger Strike, which is basically the druid hero power for 1 mana. Of course, they're a bit weaker. So what happens when you use one of them is that they change to another one, but you can't use it on the same turn again, obviously. So, for example, if you use Stagger, then it changes to either Soothing Mist or Tiger Strike, but you can't use it again until the next turn, okay? Why it is in 1 mana will be apparent next when we see all the cards, okay? So that's that. The first card we have is the Shadow Pan Trainee. Alright, it's a 2/2 for 1, pretty strong. However, not however, it's a battle cry to refresh a hero power. So, for example, you can, if you use Stagger this turn, you can use Tiger Strike again. But the problem of this card is that if you use it at turn 1, it doesn't have a battle cry, because you can't use hero power and use this guy on turn 1, right? You can't even do this at turn 2, because if you use the hero power, use this, you can't cast the hero power again. So it's kind of like a turn 3 play. And if you treat it like a turn 3, then it's like you compare it to Ironforged Rifleman, right? And it's not that good. So I think this is a completely balanced 1-drop. So that's the first one. We have the Ale Master for the next one. Ale Master says, this is first card focus. So, oh god damn it. 1 second, we do not want to attach any files. So the Ale Master is focus. Now focus occurs whenever you use all the mana for this card. So for example, if you use a turn 2, then focus activates. If you have 5 mana and you play something that costs 3 and then you play this card, then it activates. However, if you play this on like turn 3 in the first card you play, it doesn't activate. So the monk class, you really want to activate focus. Alright? So that's one of the themes. And Tasty Brew is pretty simple. It's just a coin. Okay, so you get a coin. Gain 1 mana crystal this turn only. So if you get this, maybe you can proc more focuses. So that's Tasty Brew. Alright. Let's move on to the 2-drop here. We have Golden Lotus Guard. It's a 2/2 taunt, and if you can focus it, it gains Divine Shield. So it's like a 2/3 kind of, but it can go very high. It can even be a 2/6 because Divine Shield is pretty good. So hopefully I can focus it. If it plays vanilla, then it's just what you want, right? So hopefully I can do that. Now we move on to the 3-drops. 3-drops we have Ancient Mistweaver. You focus this and restores 5 health, split to damage enemy characters. It's like kind of like a reverse Arcane Missiles. Only works if you focus it, and also only works if you have damage friendly characters. So it's not really a 3-drop, but it is a 3 mana cost minion. So you can kind of think about that. We also have another 3-drop. It is Aspiring Student. Every time you use a hero power, gain +1 attack. And you can already tell that you can actually combo this with this. Although, you have to kind of use this on turn 3 and then use this on turn 4. So hopefully you can do something cool about that. If your opponent doesn't remove this, then it gets to keep growing. When it grows 2 times, then it'll become, you know, a 3/5, which is basically a Senjin. However, the hero powers, sometimes you don't get to control what you read, right? Because if you get staggered every single time, you're not really affecting the board. And yeah, if you don't have anything to hit, you only hit your opponent. But hey, hopefully this will help you out doing that. We have a 4-drop, of course, Weapon Grappler. Battle Cry, you return your opponent's weapon into their deck. So that's pretty cool. It's like another ooze kind of thing. But if you focus it, you get to take that weapon and put it in your deck instead. So it's like an ooze, right? If you can focus it, of course that's the best. If you're facing non-weapon classes, then this is pretty bad. It's a 2/5 Ancient Mage that doesn't do anything. So maybe you put only 1 in your deck. It's pretty strong. So yeah. Another 4-drop, we have the Shadow Pan Assassin. It's a 4/3, and if you focus it, it deals 4 damage to a random minion. So SI7 on crack, but of course, you need to focus it. So it's a good point here to think about this, because if you have all these focus cards, right, you can't use all of the effects by themselves. You have to choose one. So sometimes when you have like this and like the 2-drop, for example, the 2-drop like this one, for example, and it's turn 6, you can only choose one of these. So, you know, you're kind of sacrificing power for, you know, versatility in a sense. Perfect. Turn 5. No, 5 drop. We have Eternal Guardian, which is a 7/7, very strong, but Death Rattle, it gives your opponent Mana Crystal. So hopefully, if you drop this, it's like an Arcane Golem kind of, right? However, it is in BGH range. You compare it to Venture Code Mercenary, and it does have a Death Rattle, because I think every set needs a Death Rattle now that Undertaker is a card. So this is the Death Rattle set for this card. And now we have the 6 drop, which is Dragon Turtle. If you focus it, it gains 2 health and Taunt. So 5/8 Taunt is pretty good, but if you use it normally, well, that's too bad. You only get a 5/6. So now you can kind of tell why the hero power is at 1, right? If you have turn 7 and you have a Dragon Turtle, you can just hero power first and then use the Dragon Turtle instead. So you really want to weave around your focus. Alright, that's all the minions. And now we have these spells. So let's open the spells up. The 0 drop we have, first one, is called Transcendence. Shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw the same amount. So it's kind of like an extra mulligan, right? But if you focus this, you draw an additional card. So that's interesting, because if you're looking for lethal and you use this, then you want to fish for lethal, right? But if you use all your mana and then use this, you get a card draw out of it. So it kind of cycles itself. So there's kind of like 2 plays that you can do with this card. Next one, we have Jab. I swear, this is not named after the Jab person, but it's a Jab, okay? Compare this to Mortal Coil and Slam. You deal 2 damage to a minion, but if this is the last card you use in that turn, you get to draw a card as well. Oh, assuming that you're 1 mana. So you compare it to those. Pretty simple removal, like, normal damage spell here. 1 mana Ascension for rare. This one's pretty cool. Your hero power has unlimited uses this turn. So if you use this, you can use Stagger, and then use Tiger Strike, and then use Stagger, and then use Soothing Mist, and so on, okay? It does cost 1 mana because these cost 1 mana as well. So at best, you can use 9 hero powers for the cost of... So basically, Ascension for 10. Gain 3 armor, gain 3 attack, and restore 3 health. Also note that you cannot Tiger Strike multiple things, right? You only gain 1 attack this turn, but your hero can only attack once, right? So, you know, maybe you're lucky and you charge up like 6 attack on a 6 attack minion, so on. It's kind of a rare. Next one we have Revival as the first epic. You put the last friendly minion that died on the top of your deck. Focus it, you actually get to draw it as well. So, yeah, it's like a card draw. With a twist, I guess. If you use it by itself, then it actually doesn't do anything. You just lose a card. So hopefully you get to focus it on something better. The 2 drop for spells, we have Provoke. It's force an enemy minion to attack another random minion. Kind of niche. It's like Betrayal, kind of. So I'm okay with that. Hard to see how this can be effective, but I'm sure someone can find effective with that. Another 2 drop is Surging Mist. You restore 3 health to a minion and your hero. Hey, focus it, you get the minion a little bit of a buff as well. So it's kind of like a restore 6 health. And it's kind of like a Holy Light, kind of, right? But you get to restore a minion his health. Hopefully it can focus as well. The next 2 drop is Crackling Jade Lightning. Deal 2 damage to a random enemy, so it includes the hero. And if you focus it, you get to do it again. So basically you get like a 4th lightning. So that's why it costs 2. So if you use it normally, it just deals 2 damage, so it's a worse 4th lightning. But if you use it focus, it's a better 4th lightning. However, it might hit the face, so it's kind of random. You might be able to use this to kill your opponent too. It's like a 4 damage spell, like an Ender, like in the Visceray. So yeah, that's the 2 drop. Moving on to the 3 drops, we have Spear Hand Strike. Deals 3 damage, and if you focus it, it refunds 2 mana. So, that's pretty cool. So, if, for example, you can already see the combo here, yeah? You Spear Hand Strike your opponent for 3, and then you Crackling Jade Lightning for 4, and that's a 7 damage burst. So that is pretty awesome. So yeah, there you go. You can also, like, gain 2 Mana Crystals and, like, maybe summon something, a 2 drop. Like, maybe a 2 drop, like an Ale Master, yeah? How about that? Spear Hand Strike into Ale Master. That's pretty cool, too. Alright. Another 3 drop you have is Touch of Death. Deal 4 damage to a minion, and if you focus it, it kills it, basically. This is just a little bit of of a theme thing, right? Unfortunately, you can't kill any Divine Shield minions, so it's not like an assassinate. It's like a pseudo assassinate. Compare this to a hex, or like Deadly Shot, stuff like that. Remember, you do have effects. Otherwise, you can just use it for Shadow Bolt. That's fine too. And the 4-drop is actually the legendary. Now, it says the Emperor's Call. Draw a legendary celestial depending on your current hero power. So we're gonna leave this over here and tease you guys on what that's gonna do. Wait, that's damn. Okay, I'll just remove it. Okay, so that's a legendary card, by the way, guys. 4-drop. Okay, let's keep on going. The 4-drop epic spell, Afterlife. Oh my god. Gain a copy of every friendly minion on the battlefield into your hand. So this is like a super duplicate or super arcane intellect. However, if you don't have a board, then this card is just a dead card in your hand. So kind of risky, but if you can use it like with a group of like Undertakers, Zombie Chows and stuff like that, might do pretty good. And of course, it doesn't draw from your deck. So I don't know, like maybe you'll find some uses on that. That's the epic spell. Next, moving on to the 5-drop, we have Momentum. You draw 3 cards, and if you focus it, you get a free preparation as well. So yeah, hopefully you can focus it. This is the main draw mechanic because I mean this is not really a draw. This is the Momentum. And the other 5-drop is Spinning Crane Kick, where you deal 1 damage to an enemy and deal 3 to all others. So it's kind of like a reverse swipe in a sense. Yeah. That's basically the AoE spell of the monk. And the last spell, I think this is the last one already. Touch of Karma. You silence a minion, and if you focus it, you destroy the minion as well. So that is, you really want to focus it. Otherwise, it just sucks, right? But it does remove stuff like Cairn, Sylvanas, very easily. It does cost a lot though. So if your opponent never does that, and you never draw this, then that's a problem. And of course, we have 2 weapons. How could be a monk class without weapons, right? First weapon is Audacious Staff. Whenever you attack, gain 1 mana crystal this turn only. So you're kind of like, it's kind of like you put your mana someplace else while you gain some attack. It's only 1 attack, so it's not that much. It's kind of like a, you know, if you're going with the monk theme, you're kind of like training yourself for later battles in a sense. Okay, so that's the first weapon. And the second weapon, of course, we have Fists of Fury. Every time you activate Focus, gain 1 attack. Starts with 1/4. So, yeah. With all the weird Spear Hand Strikes, Ale Masters, and stuff like that, hopefully you can focus a lot and gain this really high. Of course, if this gets Harrison, you become quite sad, and so on, okay? And, of course, everybody's waiting for, what the heck does Emperor's Call do? So let's open the card again. Let's open the Emperor's Call again. Okay, so this one. Okay, so when you use this, you get to draw a legendary. And it depends on your hero power. So you have 3 hero powers, right? If you're currently on Stagger, you will draw Neo Zal. I hope I'm saying this correctly. And this is a 5 mana 4/12. That's Taunt. And in the battle cry, it gets Taunt as well, because it's kind of like the Protector Celestial, yeah? Just keep in mind that all Celestials do cost 5, because you pay 4 mana for this card already, right? So they're basically 9 mana. So compared to Ysera, compared to Alexstrasza and stuff like that, you might be able to do some cheesy stuff with doing this on turn 4 and doing this on turn 5. That's pretty cool. So, yep. This is the Protectoring guy. So Stagger, News Out, you get News Out if you get Stagger, okay? For Tiger Strike, you get the Tiger, of course. You get Shirin. So it's a 5/9 that's charged, and your other minions have 1 attack. So this is like the more aggressive Celestial that you might get. So you want to kill your opponent, then you get this one. If you want to protect yourself, you want to get this one. And finally, we have Yulon. Yulon is also 5 mana, of course. And the battle cry is restore 10 health to your hero. So when your opponent is not rushing you down and you're still at low health, you want to try and, you know, heal back yourself with this legendary. So it restores 10 health to your hero. Pretty strong. Has a good base. It does get Shower Pain, but hey, who cares? You already healed for 10, right? And of course, there is a 4th Celestial. Why is there a 4th one? Because if, for example, you have Loraka Cho Madness, yeah? If you have Loraka Cho, and you're in your hero power, and you're like a warrior that Loraka Cho, then you can't use this card ever, right? So we did make this one so that other classes, if they thought steal or like get this card, it's not useless. And there are 4 Celestials anyways. So if you're not a monk, you get this card. You get Chiji as Divine Shield, 6/4. That's super strong, and you also get 2 cards. Pretty fitting for a legendary, of course, because once again, it is 9 mana. Okay, it's not 5 mana, guys. It's 9 mana. So there you go. Okay, so that's all the cards. Let's go over some combos before I end this section here. All right, so combos. Pretty simple. You have the hero powers. You have the first one. It's you have Shadowburn Trainee. You have Aspiring Students. Right? You have this, and you have this card as well. Alright, so have fun with your hero powers. Hopefully you can do something nice with all these 3 cards. And the hero powers, while they don't do anything too good, they're still 1 mana, right? You can still spam it a lot. And monks in WoW do have a lot of combo systems. Well, at least what's that? The Windwalker? God damn, I forgot. The melee guy, okay? At least the melee guy does a lot of combo-y stuff. So, hopefully this is the first combo you have. The second combo you have is, of course, jeez, what is it called? Where is it? The Afterlife combo, which is quite crazy if you do manage to have stuff on the board remaining. So, imagine Afterlife with a legendary. Look, that's crazy, right? That's pretty damn good. Yeah, so Afterlife, it might do good. It does copy the 5 mana, so you don't need to use it again. But then it is 4 as well, so you do need to copy it and then use it again. Okay. And then what else do we have? And of course, the last one is, you kind of have to be tricky with your mana crystals. So you have Momentum, you have Spearhand Strike, we have Ale Master, that summons a Tasty Brew. Let me just open all these cards first. Alright, and we have this. Alright, so with these cards, alright, so the Ale Master summons the Tasty Brew, right? So with these cards, you can try and do a very miracle-like turn, yeah? And hopefully do some more stuff. I mean, right now, you're drawing although the emphasis on drawing cards and not removing the board, you can try and fish for something good. So yeah, that's the third theme of the card. And to those people who just joined, once again, guys, focus activates only if you use that card and you're down to 0 mana. Okay, so if you're 6 mana, you use momentum, you don't get the bonus. But if you're 5 mana and you use momentum, then you get the focus. So yeah, there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed the monk card set that I made. Of course, if you have any comments, you can comment on the YouTube video that I'm gonna post. You can comment on Reddit. You can send me a tweet, and I'll look at it. I might balance it again like my Death Knight. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. This is the end of the YouTube clip.